Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel The Car Cove. It's not every day that a vehicle becomes a household name, and not because it's flashy or luxurious, but because it's tough, dependable, and built like a tank. The Mahindra Bolero is one of those rare legends. It might not be the most stylish SUV on the road, but when it comes to raw reliability, rugged appeal, and go-anywhere ability, this vehicle has earned its stripes over decades. Born at the turn of the millennium, the Bolero was launched in 2000 when India's automotive landscape was very different. It wasn't about massive touchscreen infotainment systems or adaptive cruise control. Back then, it was about functionality, durability, and practicality, and that's exactly where the Bolero fit in, like a glove. What made it unique, right from the beginning, was its no-nonsense design and utility-focused approach. The first-gen Bolero was boxy, very utilitarian, and it was never trying to be anything else. You could spot it in rural villages, on mountainous roads, being used by the police force, and even in the private garages of people who wanted something trustworthy. It wasn't just a carrot, it was a companion that could withstand the worst terrain and the harshest environments. The engine powering the first Bolero was a 2.5-liter diesel. It wasn't a rocket on wheels, but that wasn't the point. It was reliable, it was simple, and it was built to last. Over time, the Bolero evolved, but Mahindra never strayed far from its core DNA. Updates came, yes, slight design tweaks, BS6 compliance, better interior, but the foundation stayed rock solid. That's rare in today's automotive world, where a model can completely change its identity every few years. And then there's the build quality. The Bolero is famous for feeling indestructible. It's one of those vehicles that gives you confidence just by the way it looks. Thick panels, minimal plastic, and a weighty feel when you shut the door. It gives you that unmistakable impression that this thing means business. But the Bolero's success isn't just about how tough it is, it's also about how versatile it is. Farmers, government departments, off-roaders, even small business owners, it serves everyone. Need a rugged people mover? Bolero. Need a vehicle for bad roads and long-distance travel through remote areas? Bolero again. It carved out its space by simply showing up and doing the job without complaints. Let's talk numbers for a moment. The Bolero consistently features in India's list of top-selling SUVs, not because of gimmicks, but because of its sheer practicality. Even in a market that's now dominated by compact SUVs loaded with tech, the Bolero holds its ground. That's not just nostalgia, it's performance that's been proven over years. And speaking of performance, the modern Bolero is powered by 1.5-liter Mach 75 diesel engine, producing 75 bhp and 210 Nm of torque. Again, that may not sound thrilling on paper, but in real-world usage, especially on tough roads, it shines. It's mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox and delivers a driving experience that's predictable and steady. Perfect for drivers who don't want surprises or just solid, reliable movement from point A to point B. The ride quality is firm, which is expected given its ladder and frame chassis, but it can take a beating. Whether you're navigating potholes, gravel paths, or steep inclines, the Bolero keeps going, and it keeps doing so with minimal maintenance compared to other vehicles in the same price bracket. That's another big win for rural and semi-urban buyers where service centers might be few and far between. Inside the cabin, things are simple. No giant touch screens or ambient lighting here. What you get instead are functional controls, durable materials, and seats that are built to last. The dashboard layout is basic but user-friendly. You get power windows, air conditioning, and a digital instrument cluster in higher trims. Is it Spartan? A little. But for its audience, it's more than enough. Safety has also seen some attention over the years. The Bolero now comes with standard ABS, dual airbags, rear parking sensors, and speed alerts. While it's not going to win awards for safety innovation, Mahindra has made sure the Bolero keeps up with government norms and offers basic peace of mind for occupants. One of the unsung features of the Bolero is its excellent ground clearance at around 180mm. Combined with short overhangs and a tough suspension setup, it's capable of tackling rough terrain without breaking a sweat. And though it's no 4x4 monster in its standard form, its RWD setup and robust to work make it more capable than many soft-roaders out there. What's really impressive is how the Bolero has adapted without losing its identity. It's had limited editions, newer color schemes, and variant tweaks, but Mahindra has resisted the urge to completely reinvent it. Instead, they refined it in small, thoughtful ways. Things like adding micro-hybrid tech for better efficiency, tweaking the engine to meet BS6 norms, and offering power steering to reduce driver fatigue. All of it shows that Mahindra respects its core user base and their needs. Now let's take a second to appreciate the Bolero Neo. It's the spiritual successor to the Juve 300 and a more urban-friendly cousin to the classic Bolero. It shares a lot of underpinnings with the Bolero but comes with a slightly more refined package. If you're someone who wants the ruggedness of a Bolero but with a little more comfort and finesse, the Neo might be your pick. Still, for purists, the classic Bolero continues to dominate. There's just something special about driving a vehicle that feels so unfiltered. No artificial steering feedback, no electronic driving aids constantly interfering, just mechanical honesty. That kind of experience is increasingly rare today. Pricing has always been one of Bolero's strong points. It offers a tough, reliable vehicle for a relatively affordable cost, with prices starting around a superscript 19.8 lock and going up to about a superscript 111 lock for higher trims. It's a solid deal, especially considering the kind of abuse it can take and the resale value it holds in the used car market. And speaking of resale, Boleros tend to hold their value surprisingly well, even after years of use, especially in rural areas. It's not uncommon to see older models fetch good prices. That says a lot about the trust people place in the brand and the model. Mahindra has always positioned the Bolero as more than just a car. It's a symbol of utility, resilience, and Indian grit. It's found in every corner of the country, from dusty village roads to city outskirts, from mountainous passes to dry plains, and it blends in seamlessly wherever it goes. A lot of new cars today aim to impress you with their technology or dazzle you with their looks, but the Bolero impresses you with its heart. It's one of those rare machines where simplicity becomes a virtue. It doesn't distract, it just delivers. And maybe that's why the Bolero is still relevant in 2025, despite being nearly 25 years old. Mahindra has kept it fresh enough to comply with regulations and satisfy changing needs, but it's still the same strong, reliable SUV at its core. That consistency is rare, and it's probably the biggest reason for its long-standing success. It's not perfect. The Bolero has its quirks, like a bouncy ride at higher speeds, a somewhat cramped second row, and a dashboard that feels dated, but for its target audience, those aren't deal breakers. They're just trade-offs for a package that offers so much durability and dependability. In a time when SUVs are becoming more about status than substance, the Bolero stands its ground as a true workhorse. It's built for purpose, not polish, and that purpose has resonated with millions across the country. From being a part of weddings to ferrying loads, from driving through monsoons to crossing shallow rivers, the Bolero has seen it all. It might not have the glitz of a high-end urban SUV or the features of a tech-heavy crossover, but what it does offer is something most vehicles today can't: a sense of trust. And in the end, that might be the most important feature of all. Whether you're buying your first SUV or adding a reliable second vehicle to your garage, the Bolero is always worth considering. It might just surprise you, and not with flash, but with how much you end up depending on it.